What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Nano Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM, and how it's fallen about 15% in the last couple of trading days. Now, right now, it is up a pretty substantial amount, pre-market 3.83%, and I think it is poised to have a huge reversal in the coming weeks. Now, before we get into all of the information surrounding NNDM, if you enjoyed this video, please go down and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button so you're never late on any one of these videos that I put out, and you can stay up to date on your favorite stocks and maybe even learn about a couple of new ones. So recently, NNDM had a brief rally before it was cut short and ended up going back down to the downside. So they rallied on the sale of a Dragonfly LDM system. So essentially what this is, it's a very sophisticated 3D printing system that is used to create very sophisticated 3D circuitry and other products. So we can also see that they're trying to get into the medical field, so they might even be able to print pacemakers and some other medical equipment. What's really great about this Dragonfly LDM system is that it saves the companies that buy it a lot of money, and it makes the research and development phase of creating a new product super efficient because they don't have to create the products by hand or using the outdated machinery. With the Dragonfly LDM, they can use computer-aided design and go into this system and print their whole product, and it's going to be fully functional when they print it. So that is a big deal. NNDM is also the only company with this technology at the current time, and they predict that the market for their products is going to reach 25 billion by the year 2025. So this predicts a lot of growth potential for not only the company but the share price as well. In December, NNDM had a pretty amazing month. As we can see here, it rose 42.2% in December alone, and the stock got a boost after the company announced that a substantial number of customers had put in orders for the upgraded Dragonfly 3D printing machines. Now, shares continued to climb despite the company conducting substantial new share offerings in the month. Now, share offerings usually mean that the shares are going to get diluted in the company and your position is going to be worth slightly less. Now, this is not really a great sign for investors in the short term, but usually once the information comes out about what NNDM will actually be using the proceeds of the offering for, the stock usually has a very sharp reversal and rally. So if we go over, we can actually take a look at what exactly they're going to be using these funds for. So they actually priced their offering at $6 per American depository share, and the gross proceeds will be $180 million. If we go back over here, we can see that even though the stock is down a substantial amount, it is still trading at about $2.50 if we look at the pre-market level, above the share offering price. So that is not a great sign. They're kind of selling a bunch of shares lower than market value, which is not a good sign. But if you look, you can see that the company intends to use the net proceeds for working capital, general corporate purposes, and this is the most important part, pursuing strategic opportunities, including business combination transactions. So it looks like they would be using the cash that they have raised to maybe merge or acquire another company, which is going to be very good for them if they can use this company to make their distribution of the Dragonfly system more efficient and the production of it more effective. It is also interesting to note that they already had a lot of cash on hand, so it was a bit strange to see that they were doing another offering, but when we look and see what the actual purpose of this money is going to be for, it's safe to say that they are actually looking pretty hard at merging or acquiring another company, which is going to be something that we definitely need to keep a lookout for in the near future, since if they acquire a company or merge with a company, they're going to have two different results. Now, if they acquire another company, we could see a sharp decrease in share price like we saw with when Salesforce was going to acquire Slack. Slack rocketed up, but Salesforce went down, so that's going to be something we need to keep a lookout for. But if they merge, we could see the share price go way up. Now, some big institutions are pretty heavily invested in this company, and when that happens, it is always a good sign that the people with all of the money have a lot of confidence in a given company. So if we go over and take a look at ARK, This is the buying behavior of ARK over the past couple of months in NNDM. So ARK is an actively traded fund. They have a bunch of different ETFs that have crushed the market this year. The S&P 500 typically goes up between 7 and 11% every year, and a lot of these ARK ETFs this year are up 100%, 150%, and maybe even 200%. So these ETFs traded by Cathie Wood are going absolutely crazy this year. So if she thinks that this company has a lot of potential, I think we should as well. So it looks like they were trying to dollar cost average in. They started off with a position of around 160,000 shares and just keep going up. So right here, they jumped it up again, and we get all the way up here to the 8.7 million share mark. Now, that's a pretty substantial position in ARK. And what's interesting to note about this is that ARK is still buying near the highs. So I think that is going to tell us that ARK thinks that this company is going to go up a lot higher in 2021. It's safe to assume that if they're buying near the highs of between 8, 9, and 10, that their price target is going to be between $15 and $25. So I don't think that it is too late to get into NNDM. Now, this doesn't really show the exact dollar amount that ARK is buying on the daily, but if we go over here, we can see that NNDM is held by 2 ARK ETFs, and just this week alone, they've bought $365,000 worth here, 1.3 million here, and yesterday when it was down a pretty substantial amount, they bought the dip with $500,000 worth. Now this is just in ARKQ. In ARKW, they have a slightly smaller position, and they bought around $128,000, then $214,000, then $40,000. So you can see that ARK is buying a lot of this company. Now, they might have done a little bit of rebalancing at the end of the year and sold off a couple of shares so then they could buy back in on a dip this year. But as we can see so far in 2021, ARK cannot stop buying this company, and they see a lot of potential in the future. So right now, it is just pre-market, and NNDM is already up 3.83%. So it could have a pretty solid day today. I'm hoping that it does. I'm kind of waiting to see if it kind of settles down and gains a trend. So right here, we can see that it went up, came down, kind of settled down for a little bit, then came back up, had a steep drop, settled a little bit, and then continued on its uptrend. So I'm looking for a couple days of slow movement before I consider getting into a position. But I don't think there would be any problem with buying right now since ARK is buying at the highs. They know more information than we do with all of their analysts going in and valuing the company, and they think that the company is going to go a lot higher. So I think it's safe to say that investors are safe getting in right now. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed what I had for you in this one, please go down and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. It really helps me get all this information out to as many people as possible, and I'll see you guys in the next video.